I'm Victoria Pearson, you can call me V. I'm so excited, I've got so much to announce to you today. And I was supposed to be doing a Christmas craft vlog, and I apologise, I was going to do that today, but my hot glue sticks have not arrived from Hobbycraft yet. They're taking forever to be delivered. I don't understand why. Maybe I've missed the parcel, I'm not sure. But hopefully by next week I'll be having my hot glue sticks so that I can do these little projects for you. But actually, developments developed over the course of this week, and I am unexpectedly announcing to you that the novel collab project that I've been working on for the last couple of years with Michael Wombat, Miranda Kate and Lisa Shambrook is finally ready for pre-order now. The book will be released on the 26th of December, but as I say, you can pre-order it now. If you buy it through pre-order or on release date, it will be half price, so well worth doing. As writers, we're all readers as well, and so we know how annoying it is if you get really into the first book of a trilogy and then the author just never releases the rest. And so we made sure that everything was finished and all 3 books were ready to go before we started the releasing process. So you will not have to wait very long for book 2. I think we've got the first book out on the 26th of December, and then the second book is out on my birthday, the 6th of February. And then the third one is out on the 20th of March. So there's about 6 weeks between each one, which will give you just about enough time to read it and want the next one. And so they are all coming out very soon. The pre-order is available for the first book now, which is Agents of Secrets and Lies. Now, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how we did this. It was so much fun. Basically, Michael Wombat had this fabulous idea, possibly, he says, inspired by doing Sundust and Sundusted, the 2 stories that we twined around each other a couple of years ago. That's on my vlog last week if you want to go and check out Michael's story. But he said he had this idea of a novel that was being written from 4 different perspectives. And he asked me if I wanted to be involved with it. I was like, absolutely. And so he said, right, the plot line is that we've got these horrible, terrifying beasts, cockatrices, coming through a portal into the summer realm where the story is set. And in order to stop them, each character needs to obtain a unique ingredient for a particular spell that they hope will stop these big bads. So the way that we wrote it was actually quite simple in that respect. It wasn't too complicated, sort of collaborating with the main bulk of the story, because we each got given our particular ingredient that we had to find, and then it was just a case of have at it. We had a fairly blank map to start with at the very, very beginning. And over time, people would jump into the WhatsApp group and say, hey, I've just plunked a city here. Is that okay? Can we add it to the map? Or, oh, I could really do if you just move in these mountains a little bit for me. Can we make that desert a little bit higher, a little bit hotter, a little bit further away? And can we make these woods into swamps instead? Because that would be really good for the thing that I'm writing. And by the end, we ended up with a map that was so very detailed. I will show it to you in a second, but first I want to explain to you why I have got this copy of the book wrapped up in tissue paper. So Michael Wombat, who was the father of this project, it was all his idea, has unfortunately got terminal cancer, and it has accelerated quite a lot recently. And so we couldn't guarantee that he would be able to see all 3 books published. And so what we did, well, I say we, it was mostly Miranda, bound up a copy of all 3 books in 1 volume, complete with full colour maps and all of the extra bonus materials for Michael to enjoy himself. And we each got a copy of it because there was a minimum order on there of like 4 or 5 books or something. But the cover that we used was not the cover that we are going to use, because the artist, Kit Cooper, wasn't quite finished with the artwork when we were doing this. And so we've got a temporary cover. So I've wrapped mine in tissue paper so you can't see, but I can still show you some things from the book. And one of the things that I really wanted to show you was some of our maps. These were, again, mostly drawn by and created by Michael Wombat. In your copy, the maps will be black and white, so they won't be quite as detailed as here. Although we're planning on sorting out sort of a website where you can look at full colour maps and added materials, and maybe eventually doing a hardback with full colour maps and added materials and things like that in. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek of what the map looks like. So here is the summer realm. And it started off looking so plain and so blank, and now it's got so much on there, and it's such a rich world. I absolutely love it. But I have to say, Michael is so super talented at doing maps, because when I was designing one of the cities, Shazim, I kind of gave him this. and said, can you make a map out of this and make it look good? I drew this in 5 seconds. I am not a good map drawer. And let me show you the map that he came up with that as his prompt image. Isn't that amazing? I'm so very impressed. There are a bunch of different maps in this, and we're still debating where exactly we're going to place them. It's a shame that they have to be in black and white for the paperback, but it would make it far too expensive if it was full colour. None of you would want to buy it, but we, like I said, if you get really, really into this, we might bring out a special edition hardback with like everything in, including added bonus materials and all that sort of thing. Because we have got a whole drive full of little conversations between us and lists of plants that we've made, and lists of new animals that we've made, and different foods that they've got in the realm, and little threads of conversation where we're like, are these people religious? Do they have a god of some kind? Like, are people going to say, oh my god, or is that not a thing for them there? And it was a beautiful thing seeing how the realm grew like that, because it was very different for me to how I normally do things. I would normally start with building the world that I am writing and then put the characters in it. Whereas the way that we did it this time was very character driven. And it was a case of people saying, I really need there to be a logging camp there. Can we plonk a forest there right next to these mountains so that I can, and I need somewhere that I'm going to get attacked by bandits nearby. And so I need a mountain pass there. And it was so wonderful to watch the map sort of develop along those lines as the story took place, and to go from being a very, very plain map, which I wish I still had a copy of, to the very detailed one that I just showed you there. Now, I'm not somebody that writes with sort of tropes in mind, but when I was doing my editing read through, I realised that we've got so many classics that all of you love, so I just wanted to run down some of them quickly. So we have found family in more than one of the characters. It was really strange how we actually ended up with similar elements in some of our characters without actually speaking to each other about it first, because we all went off for our characters to go and find their spell ingredient, and then didn't really come together until near the end of the book to write the ending together. And so none of us kind of knew what the others were writing until we came together at the end, which is so strange to see these little similarities and themes cropping up. But found family was a really big theme in it. Reclaiming your power is one of the themes in it. We've got somebody coming from another dimension into this world. We've got magic users. We have got a black cat, golden retriever, grumpy sunshine kind of relationship. We've got almost enemies to lovers, kind of. We have got some really strong and well-drawn female characters in there. And honestly, I think women kind of run the summer realm in lots of ways, not just by the queen. And we've got airships in there, and we've got steam-powered barges and clockwork bridges and everything that you could want from a steampunk fantasy, basically. But it's got so much heart. I'm worried that I'm never going to write anything as good as this again. I'm definitely feeling like I'm never going to have this much fun writing again. And technically, as I realised last night, this is kind of my debut novel, because although I have written novels before, I've never published a novel before. I've only ever published short story collections. And although this is a collaborative work, my characters I've written enough words for a novel for them for sure. And so kind of technically my debut novel coming out right now. So I am very, very excited, probably a bit too excited. Now, those of you who watched my New Year bingo video a little while ago when I updated you on my New Year bingo card, you're probably saying, well, you didn't have Release the Summer Realm books on your New Year bingo card for this year. And I did not. I had finished the chapters on there. I expected that the editing process would be a bit more long and drawn out. But obviously with Michael's health as it is, we've been trying to get through that quite quickly and get things pulled together, hopefully so that he can see all of the books released. Wouldn't that be amazing? Or at least see the first book released. That would be fantastic. And so it's actually happened a lot quicker than I expected it to. That is mostly due to Miranda, who is very, very good at doing the formatting and stuff like that. And she's very, very good at setting up the pre-order. And she knows what she's doing and she does it really quickly. And so if it wasn't for her, we probably would be releasing next year. But she's really worked her socks off to bring it forward for us. And so I'm very, very pleased that we're going to get it out this year. But I did have on my New Year bingo card was release a short story collection this year. And when I was talking about my New Year bingo, I said, oh, I haven't done that yet. Maybe I have time. I have been working on that as well in the background. Been doing my cover art until late last night and working on the blurb. I've got most of the stories in place. I'm hoping that I will be able to get that out this year as well. If not, it'll be very, very early next year. Hopefully before my birthday next year. So I'm going to put the pre-order link for this in the description. I might put it on the screen somewhere as well. Where would I put it? Probably about there-ish. But I will put it in the description as well, so it's clickable for you. And it is a universal link as well, so whatever country that you're watching on, it should take you to Amazon in your region so that you can do the pre-order. Pre-order the book, you get it half price. Very, very well worth doing. And I think if you do the pre-order as well, when the next book in the series comes up, it should notify you. But either way, I'll be telling you about that closer to the time as well. Now, the last thing that I wanted to do before I go is do a little cover reveal. Now, as I said, this was a special edition for Michael, and I've ripped it up real bad, this cover. And so this cover is not the cover that we were going to use for the book. We wanted to get all 3 books bound up with the maps for Michael. And so the artwork wasn't ready yet. So we used a different piece of artwork that we don't have permission to use for commercial. It's okay to use it for personal in that way, but it means I can't show you that. But if I hold this up here, what I can do is do some editing wizardry and put the cover for book 1 over the top of this for you so that you can have a little cover reveal, because it was actually revealed on Blue Sky the other day. And so that will be the cover for book 1, Agents of Secrets and Lies. And then, as I say, Savage Invasion and Battle of Wind and Fire will be out 6 weeks after each other. I'm so super excited. I can't wait for you to all to read it. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now that the Summer Realm has come to an end. I will probably end up doing some kind of spin-off or sequel to it, because I just love the richness of this world so much. And there were so many things in it that I had down in my ideas bank that I wanted to explore that I just didn't get the chance to, like airship pirates. That would be really, really cool. I wanted to do some stuff around the mines there, and also Michael had some ideas that he didn't get a chance to explore in there, and so I might actually steal some of them. He did give me permission, and work around them and see if I can work some of his ideas that didn't make it into a spin-off as well. I'm not making any promises about that right now, but at some point I will let you know about it. So join me on Monday for my next vlog. Hopefully it will be the Christmas craft vlog next week, and my glow sticks will have arrived, because we are getting to that sort of time of year. We did have a little shower of snow here the other day, and so it did make me feel a little bit festive. I'm not the most festive person, but it made me feel a little bit festive. And so I was thinking we can make some cute and quite cheap little Christmas decorations. If you can't wait until then to see me again, though, I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. I will also be here on a Witchy Wednesday doing an intuitive tarot card pull for you. At the moment, my readings for private readings are open. You can go there on ko-fi.com/VSPearson85/commissions. And I think I still have some tarot spaces available at the moment, but I am limiting them right now because I was getting quite a lot of requests and I just simply didn't have time to focus on all of them. And so they're like a first come, first served. It will take about a week to turn around, and I'll do as many as I can. But it's all of a sudden very, very popular. Everybody wants a tarot reading. I think it must be to do with the time of year. If you enjoyed hearing about my books and you want to read some of my short stories while you're waiting for the Summer Realm to be released, you can find my short stories on my Patreon, which again is VSPearson85, because I am that everywhere. But you can also have a look on Amazon, Ko-fi, blah, 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 and check out my short story collections. I've got this Strange Stories series. I have got Once Upon a Twisted Fairy Tale. And I've got A Tale of Two Princes, which is kind of a modern retelling of Sleeping Beauty and the Frog Prince, but with a kind of Men in Black twist to it. It's one of my favourite stories. And one of the side characters in that actually became a character in a different novel that I have not yet published. Anyway, like and subscribe. Or don't, I'm not your mum. Either way, you have yourself a beautiful week.